Hi everyone. At the opening of the sixth seal, Revelation chapter 6 verse 12, the day of the Lord, it is the day of the Lord, and the rapture, the gathering up event, is all within this series of events, starting at the opening of the sixth seal. Reading from Malachi chapter 4. Chapter 4, For behold, the day cometh, that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly, shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet, in the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts. Now, next verse, Moses is mentioned, verse 4. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and commandments. And here's the kicker verse. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, which is the opening of the sixth seal, which is the gathering up event. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Now this is, I'll give you more verses here. This is the things we're supposed to watch for before the coming of the terrible day, dreadful, terrible day of the Lord. In Joel 2:31 it calls it the terrible day of the Lord. So let's look at Matthew 24 now, and a key passage from there. It says in verse 7, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdoms against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. And then let's read verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. A witness unto all nations. I'll read that again. Verse 14, And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, or witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Revelation 11. And I will give power, verse 3, and I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. My two witnesses. One is Elijah, and likelihood the other is Moses. What will they do? They will prophesy 1,260 days, 3.5 years, 42 months, clothed in sackcloth. Okay. Where will they appear? They will appear in what is known formerly as Sodom and Egypt. Verse 8, And their dead bodies shall lie in the street in the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Modern day Jerusalem. Okay. Now look what they do. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth, and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. There will be, at the time when these guys appear, Orthodox Jews tearing their robes at the blasphemy, the so-called blasphemy that's going to come out of these guys' mouths, that what they will consider blasphemy. Muslims, extremist Muslims, will be there blowing themselves up left, right, and center with suicide belts, trying to take these guys out, and they will be killed by fire. Secular Jews are going to be there protesting against these guys. This event, when these guys show up in Jerusalem, is going to bring absolute chaos to the region. What can these guys do? They can shut power to heaven. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. These guys are going to be labelled terrorists in today's climate. Wow. And the only one that's going to come get them at the end and take them out is the Antichrist. So, what hasn't occurred yet also? What's another thing? Revelation chapter 13. Verse 11, talking of Pope Francis, the second beast. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. Abama, the first beast, the beast that rose from the sea, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And what does he do? He hasn't done this yet, Pope Francis. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Right? So you have these two witnesses that are also, when they come, they will be bringing fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoureth their enemies. They're going to have control over power, over fire. So to counter that, the Pope, false prophet, the second beast, will also, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Well, the reason Donald Trump was told by his elite handlers to declare Jerusalem as the state capital of Israel, of the modern day state of Israel, was because the two witnesses are on their way. They know this biblical truth, even if most of YouTube people have no idea. They know that that's the next thing to come online. The next major sign to be fulfilled. While we're all still here, in fact. While we are all still here. To declare Jerusalem as the capital is to ensure that there will never be a two-state solution, a peaceful agreement made between the Israelis and the Palestinians and the rest of the Arab nations that surround this region. So the only outcome from Donald Trump saying this is chaos and a new order out of that chaos. Okay, Donald Trump stood at the Wailing Wall in May this year. 12 months and 6 days later, he declares Jerusalem the capital. The movie Pi, Faith in Chaos, is just what has occurred right here. God is going to send as a witness to all the nations his two witnesses to give their prophecy for 1,260 days. Until we see this, we are not even close to getting gathered up. Thanks for listening.